Good day. My name is Ed Boquillan. I'm the superintendent of Minuteman Regional Vocational Technical High School, and I'm happy to be here with you for town meeting in this unusual year. Town meeting is July 11th. However, I'm preparing a Zoom video presentation for you to review prior to July 11th. Our budget request for FY21 is underscored by the term managing our success. We have enjoyed a new building since September, and unfortunately, as most of us are aware, we had to leave our new building in March. But the building has been just a joy to be in. Fulfilled expectations. As a reminder, after a 5 or 6 year process, Minuteman passed a new regional agreement, which was approved by all of our member towns in 2016. A new capital fee was approved to require that non-member communities participated in the capital debt obligation that our member towns needed to participate in. Our new building, we entered a year ahead of schedule, and it's on budget. We've realized increased enrollment over the last few years, resulting in an enrollment this fall of 2020, which we will actually exceed the design enrollment of the school. We now have a waiting list for non-member students as well as member students. As you can see, our enrollment has increased over the last 3 or 4 years. Notably, the dark blue line is from our member communities. The blue line is from non-member communities, and the yellow line is from former community members. Our past and projected enrollment might be a little difficult to see, but the yellow columns reflect our in-district enrollment during those years. The green columns, or the green indicators, show our in-district membership enrollment during those time, and the gray on the final right column is our projected enrollment for next fall. You can see our budget for FY29 is about $21,500,000. We've done some adjustments in how our revenue plan is working in order to accommodate the financial crisis that we're all going to be experiencing over the next year or two. So although the budget looked like it's increased, the operating assessments have not increased since our budget was passed back in February. The revenue plan, you'll see some of these reallocations of revenue funds. You can see the use of prior year and current year out of district tuition. You'll also see the application of $904,000 of capital fee that we collected in this current fiscal year, or I should say FY20, and are applying towards the assessments for next year. Stow's assessment is $1.2 million, almost $1.3 million for FY21. That's an increase of about $400,000. The operating assessment, or the assessment for Stow, is based up of a number of factors: minimum required contributions, operating assessments. You'll see a decrease in the assessment for Stow, which was based upon the middle school technology program being taken over by Neshoba Regional. So the major budget drivers for FY21 for the operating budget as a whole are district technology. We have a 1-to-1 program, fortunately, that has served us well during this remote learning time, and will continue to serve us well as remote learning and a combination of on-site learning will take place beginning this fall. Athletic services have been a driver in that we have no athletic fields, so we've been renting fields, transporting kids to other areas for games. We haven't had a home game at Minuteman for nearly 3 years. And our debt is starting to hit the books in its full force, which we've prepared you for. The Belmont departure, you may know that Belmont voted 3 years ago to become a non-member as of July 1, 2020. That departure alone means that the assessment is being spread over 9 member towns instead of 10. So about $93,000 of the $400,000 increase is aligned, is because of the Belmont departure. The assessment for Stow, almost $580,000, is based upon the minimum required contribution that is set by the state. The operating assessment is based upon our regional agreement calculations, and you can see the different components that make up the total assessment. The debt was excluded from Prop 2.5, but I've included it in your assessment slide here. Again, the change, I reviewed that. Full enrollment is here. That's a new normal for Minuteman, although a new normal phrase is being used a lot. Previously, we had low member enrollment. Previously, members had pretty full access to all the programs. We were told there were too many non-members. Well, this coming freshman class, there's only 14 non-member freshmen. We anticipate no non-members. In other words, no out-of-district tuition, no capital fee in 3 fiscal years. This has resulted, unfortunately, in waiting lists for members and for non-member applications are rarely reviewed even now. Stow, this past year admissions season, we had 21 applications from Stow. 18 were offered admission. The 3 that were not offered admission simply didn't complete their applications. As of a few days ago, 17 of those 18 students from Stow have committed to coming to Minuteman this fall. We're projecting that for next year, there'll be a total of 44 students from Stow. That's the highest number of Stow students attending Minuteman in quite a few years. Challenges going ahead. The withdrawal of towns from the regional district means fewer members are sharing the capital and operating expenses. Little to no out-of-district enrollment means reduced and eventually non-existent tuition revenue and no capital fees to offset assessments to remaining members. And unfortunately, high enrollment, which is what we've been working towards, has now resulted in waiting lists. We wanted to build a bigger school. We wanted to build a school for 800. Over a process of dealing with our member towns, we were successful in getting a design enrollment of 628, and now we are full and with a waiting list for next year. I wanted to take a few minutes and describe our plans for opening school in the fall under a COVID environment. As we speak today on June 24th, we have been working on a plan for the last several weeks that would allow Minuteman to open in a safe environment at a reduced capacity with appropriate social distancing and all the adequate PPE in place. We are going to be having a hybrid model of on-site learning as well as remote learning. We're terming it week on, week off, half day, every day. If you think about career and technical education, it simply cannot be done remotely. So we are looking at a format of our students that would include 9th graders and 11th graders being on site, but half of the day they would be participating in academics, and then the other half of the day they would be in career and technical programming. So the 9th graders would all be in academics in the morning while the juniors are in shop. And then after lunch, we would swap that. We're changing our schedule to be an 8-period day from its current 7 so that we can provide supportive learning environments and supporting services for students who are on IEPs within that half-day academic model. And the following week, when those juniors and freshmen are at home, they'd be participating in remote learning, again, academics every day, particularly math and English. and we're providing an extensive amount of reading support, which we've done for 10 years. And that remote learning week is going to be much more structured than it has been over this last 3 months. We've invoked some different protocols when it comes to cleaning the building. We had hired an outside cleaning service last year, and they're going to be putting in more hours. On the transportation side, we're looking at limiting students to 23 to 30 students per bus. Under the current guidelines, that's what we're assuming. So we feel very confident we're going to be able to offer a combination of hybrid learning that's going to keep students gaining proficiency in competency in their career and technical programs while maintaining rigorous academics. It's a lot of challenges going forward, without a doubt. And is it the best for the students? Absolutely not. The best thing is for them to be here full-time with their teachers in a brand new school building that serves their education and their programming well. We've got a great relationship with the Teachers Association. They've worked with us to develop this plan. We believe at this point it complies with all the current guidelines and is flexible enough to allow us to pivot if we have to close and go to a full-time remote learning model should infections rise. Happy to answer any questions about our half day, every other week model of delivering CTE. So that concludes our budget proposal presentation. If you have any questions prior to town meeting, feel free to email me and I will do my best to answer them. Otherwise, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you on July 11th at the Stow Town Meeting. Thank you.